Hello. Hi guys. Happy Monday. Hope everyone is well. Hope you had a restful weekend. Hope you had a very productive weekend and have plans towards a productive week coming up, God's willing. Trust that you all are sleeping well, eating well, drinking your water, and so on and so forth. Today, I want to go back to a video that I did previously concerning asking God for wisdom. So this is probably a part two. We'll call it part two. I'll try and make this one short. So I'll read the verse that we read previously that I focused on, and that was from James chapter 1 verse 5, and it says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." Right? This week, I want us to turn to James chapter 3, verse 17 and 18 says, "But the wisdom that comes from heaven," this is the wisdom that we ask for. This is how we know that the wisdom that we use in applying God is from God. "But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving or peaceable, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness." I'll read it again. "But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness." We often, because it's life, because we are in pursuit of spiritual maturity, because we are trying to walk on the straight and narrow and find that path. The Bible says, "Few there be that find it." We're trying to be a part of the few that find it. That straight and narrow, that difficult, that very hard path. Because we are practicing righteousness, practicing holiness, and in pursuit of that, we are often in situations and circumstances where you literally have to say, "Father, I need your wisdom. Lord, give me your wisdom here. Lord, help me to deal with this situation in wisdom. Help me to respond here in wisdom. Help me to have the right approach. Give me wisdom as to how to deal with this situation, deal with that person." We just need the wisdom of God. The thing though, sometimes because of our emotions, feelings, wanting to feel justified in a particular situation, wanting to justify yourself or to clear your name or to make whatever, fix, deal with, you tell yourself, and like I say, you telling yourself, this is you tell yourself saying, and you say, yes, so this is what we do it. When we start to tell ourselves how we're going to handle a situation, oftentimes, the seed that is sown doesn't result in a harvest of righteous fruit. What you will get, as I would have mentioned before, is deeds of the flesh. Galatians mentioned those. It leads to when you see jealousy, when you see envy, when you see selfish ambitions, when you see confusion. No, just know this can't be peaceable fruits. This can't be fruit of the Spirit. This cannot be the wisdom of God. I want to read a different version. I've taken it from verse 13. Same James chapter 3. Just to show that sometimes it may require you just pace yourself. Slow down your mind. Slow your thoughts all the way down, because sometimes your thoughts does be racing and you don't know how you're going to fix the situation and deal with the situation, that kind of way. And your mind is just be going and you tell yourself, yeah, this is how we deal with this. This is how I going to deal with this. But is that the wisdom of God? Is that what you're planning to do there, what you're telling yourself? Is the wisdom of God applied? And sometimes when we do act like that and we see the result, the end result, sometimes you have no choice but to tell yourself, this could never be God. This is the devil. This is what this is. This is the devil. Because if this was God, the results would have been totally different. The end result, the fruits, the harvest would be totally different. Verse 13. Who among you is wise and understanding? Let him show by his good behavior, his deeds in gentleness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your heart, do not be arrogant and so lie against the truth. This wisdom is not that which comes from above. Listen to me. I'm telling all you, you see the word of God? It does act like a magnifying glass sometimes in our situation where I have no choice but to say ouch or my God or Father forgive me. No. Who among you is wise and understanding? Let him show by his good behavior his deeds in the gentleness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your heart, do not be arrogant and so lie against the truth. This wisdom is not that which comes down from above, but is earthly, natural, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exists, there is disorder and every evil thing. But the wisdom, and this is how you could tell the difference between you operating in the flesh and you operating with the wisdom of God. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peace-loving, gentle, reasonable, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial, free of hypocrisy, and the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. I feel like I could just read the verses and let that be the devotion. I don't even add or take away from it. Verse 13 again says, who among you is wise and understanding? Let him show. It will show. The wisdom you operate in will show. Let him show by his good behavior his deeds in the gentleness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition, if this is where your operation coming from, do not be arrogant and so lie against the truth. This wisdom, don't tell me that is the wisdom of God. That's what you're saying. Don't bother to lie. Don't lie to yourself and don't lie against the truth. This wisdom is not that which comes from above, but it is earthly, natural, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exists, there is disorder and every evil thing. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peace-loving, gentle, reasonable, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial, free of hypocrisy, and the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. Brethren, sistren, friends, foes, all and sundry. I really want to encourage us. Just know that Melina topic for the rest of the year is impact and influence growth. And so growth meaning spiritual maturity, growth, and self-care, emotional and mental self-care. In light of that, I just want to encourage us. If you are doing anything, planning to say anything, planning to do anything, bounce up a situation where you are required to respond, you are required to react, I beg. Please take a minute. Nothing wrong with saying, I'll get back to you. I can't respond to that right now. If you know it's going to come from an earthly, natural, and demonic place, If your response in the now is going to come from there, then pause. Do yourself a favor. Take a ticky time out and tell yourself, of myself, I know I need a minute to harness my thoughts and to seek the wisdom that is from above. So, in so doing, the results, the end results of what I may do or say will end up being something that is reasonable, peace-loving, gentle, pure, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial, free of hypocrisy. And you, the fruit of righteousness, your fruit, I spoke about the leaves, your fruit will show that you have practiced, is practicing, is using, is applying the wisdom of God, because it will be sown in peace and your harvest will be a peaceful one. So I just really want to encourage us. Short, let us in our modeling Christ, in our response, in our influencing those who may be looking on that we're not sure looking on. Let us make sure that when you do respond, you do react, whoever looking on could say, wow, that be the wisdom of God. That's the wisdom of God in operation there. That is not Melina. Because if I know Melina woulda, but Melina has been operating in the wisdom of God. Not to your own horn, no, because it's not your wisdom. It is the wisdom of God. And like I said, if it is not the wisdom of God, you will know, because it will have bitter jealousy, selfish ambition wrapped up inside of it. And arrogance will be in it. This wisdom not coming from above. And you would know to be able to say, that's not the wisdom of God. That's not the wisdom of God. That is earthly, natural, and demonic. You will be able to say that is the devil. So I just want to encourage us to be mindful. Be mindful of how you operate. Be mindful of the things that you say. And like I said, I was telling the ladies recently, if you had to talk slow, take your time and talk. Slow your thoughts down. Be calculated and intentional with what you say, with what you do, with how you respond in situations. Make sure that when James asks, or anybody around you asks, who among you is wise and understanding? Let it be said, based on her actions, based on her deeds, the wisdom of God is operating in her life. She is functioning in the wisdom of God. Make sure, and if you know you're lacking it, like I said in part 1, if you know you're lacking it, ask God. He gives it generously. And like I said, if you need a minute, or you need to take a week or two before you respond in a situation that requires the wisdom of God, because you're bound to know, You're bound to know, Lord. It's another thing, this phrase that used to go around long time on social media. Knowing that this is above you. This is above me. This is above Father. This is above my spiritual maturity. This is above my growth level. This is above me. And because this is above me, Father, I need to seek wisdom from above. Father, in of myself right now, I am not capable. I am not capable of answering correctly. I am not capable of responding right here today. But I've taken a week to seek your face for your wisdom. And I know when I come to you with faith believing, because that's what James 6 says, you ask and you believe with faith. Let not the one who doubts think that he could receive anything from God. So you're coming with faith. Lord, I come in by faith, asking you for wisdom. God gives it generously. And when he gives it, you would know the wisdom from God. Verse 17. The wisdom from above is pure. Then peace loving. There's no confusion, not bacchanal, not stirring up, no discord and disunity and disharmony. It don't come to irritate and frustrate. It is gentle, reasonable, impartial, free of hypocrisy, full of mercy and good fruits. We spoke about fruits. The fruit of the Spirit, what that is, what the fruit of what the deeds of the flesh is. And it seems as if all of it is marrying together here at this point in time. Galatians spoke about it, Galatians 19 to 21 spoke about what the deeds of the flesh are and how you could identify it, and then what the fruit of the Spirit is and how you could identify the characteristics of the fruit of the Spirit. And so if the fruit of righteousness, which Philippians talk about in what we dealt in previously, if the fruit of the Spirit through Jesus Christ is righteousness, it is sown in peace by those who make peace. So if the results is not looking nothing like verse 17 and 18 and it's looking more like 14 and 15, then you know it is not the wisdom of God. Stay clear, stay away or stay far from it. Do not enter, do not engage, do not respond. And ensure, all jokes aside, y'all, make sure that when you respond, like I said, if you have to take your time to speak slowly, take your time to assess your thoughts, take your time to seek God to get His wisdom before you respond. Do that. We talking slow in this season. In this time, we are speaking slow. We're being calculated with how we respond and how we deal with things. Listen to me. Sometimes it requires you doing, if you have to tell somebody, listen, I will respond, but if you have to put in a but, and it's because you need to put measures in place, pray, gather wisdom from God, then do that. Be calculated and intentional about how you do things and how you operate, because at the end of the day, you don't want, as Mommy Helen said this week, and I love Mommy Helen. Mommy Helen said this week, she got a buff. You ain't one go to buffet, I forget the word she uses. I can't forget you. Still young people that's using these days. You ain't want to get loud up. Loud up is what she's saying. You ain't want God to loud you up, so to avoid them things. You see God and you're making sure that your response, you're making sure that how you handle the situation, how you do it, what you do, how you say it, what you say, pleases God. God could recognize it as a fruit of righteousness. He could recognize it as peaceful. He could recognize it as gentle, reasonable, full of mercy and good fruit. He could recognize the fruit that you're bearing. Oh yeah? I just want us that as we seek to model Christ, to model spiritual maturity, to model godly character, to model the fruit of the Spirit, that we be calculated and intentional, and that we make up our minds that God, unless you give me wisdom and direction, then I cannot move because I wouldn't know what to do. So make that your mentality. I'm going to speak slow. I'm going to be so slow, quick to hear, slow to speak. I am going to be calculated. I'm going to be intentional. At the end of the day, God must be pleased. Because you don't want to be in a position where after you say your piece, or you do whatever whatever your response is, you don't want, after you would have done what you would have done or said what you would have said, according to Sister Helen, you get loud up. Is that what I require of you? As Sister Melissa said as well. Is that what I require of you? Is that the way that I require of you to be? Is that, and sometimes, I'm going to tell you, you see this journey, this walk with Jesus is as though 99.9% of the times you just find yourself thinking, but that's not fair. I find half the time that is me your thought, God, this real. Nah boy, nah. This can't be it. This is real unfair. This is real unfair. I find I should be able to say, do, act like. 99.9% of the times that is be the niggling. it is be poking you in the back here, so that's not fair. And not fair. Based on what was said, done, that, I find I should. But that's not what God requires. He requires you to operate in the wisdom of God so that the end result is you not operating earthly, natural, and demonic. So tell yourself, even though it's not fair, I am not going to function like a demon. Sister Melissa again said, to not allow yourself to be a tool in the devil tool shed. At the end of the day, my response, my reaction, how I handle a situation must not make me a tool for the devil. I must not be able to say, Lord, God must not be able to say, you didn't act like my child. I don't know who your father is, but it's not me. You don't want that. You don't want that feeling. You don't want those emotions to flood your mind after it. If you're like me, and you act the fool, trust me, you're begging sleep to come. You're begging sleep to come because how you handle this situation going back over your head, Holy Spirit gonna say peace. And I'm telling you, based what you telling yourself, what he telling you, trust me, between the two of you, yourself and the Holy Spirit, you ain't gonna find peace. No rest, sleep, you go sleep where not coming. Because you ain't act the way you were supposed to act. So avoid it. So it's when I put on my hair, I was having long days, busy days. You have to remember this, that one had to get this one had to get this printed out for that project, that one need this for class. Too much does be going on during the day for when night come, I can't sleep in peace. And so make up your mind. Make up your mind that all you want to hear is well done, daughter. Well done, daughter. That's all I want to hear. And you do and sleep in peace. You don't want a situation where you're getting louder because of how you handle a situation. I just want to encourage us. The Bible is very specific as to these deeds, the deeds of the flesh, the characteristics of the fruit of the Spirit, the wisdom from above, and the wisdom that is earthly, natural, and demonic. There's a difference. There's a clear demarcation between the things of God, the characteristics, the fruit of God, the fruit of righteousness, the wisdom of God. And there's a clear demarcation between that and deeds of the flesh, fruits of the flesh, the flesh, and the wisdom that does not come from above. That is natural, earthly, and demonic. And so I just really want to encourage us to, like I say, slow down. Slow your mind down, slow your thoughts down, because sometimes I'm telling you, and as females, you just plan a conversation. You planning, and I'm waiting for she to say, or waiting for he to say, let our manager come and tell me anything in the morning. He ain't know already. We just have conversations, suitable answers, answer 1, 2, and 3, and suitable responses for each response that you think the other person going to come with. That's how our brain does operate. I sure it's not me alone. I ain't even saying maybe it's me. I telling you it's not me alone who does operate so. And so sometimes you need to, no, not sometimes. What we're doing right now, because we're in pursuit of spiritual maturity, we're in pursuit of God and our salvation, because it is expensive. A friend of mine told me that, Melina, you're too expensive. You cannot afford to give away your salvation, give away your growth, your growth that you've experienced within the past however long. You can't just sell that cheap for coins, not even paper you lend and put in the vending machine that you selling yourself. You are too expensive. So tell yourself, my salvation is too expensive. Brother Show said that in church recently too. You have to guard your salvation, guard it, put security, put armored men outside to guard it. You are not allowing things, situations, circumstances to come and to shake you to the point where you lose your mind. You just operating in yourself. You just letting self. No, we're not doing that. And so because we're not doing that, we are going to slow down our thoughts. We're going to be very calculated in how we respond and how we handle situations, because at the end of the day, God is the one we want pleased. And not us. We want God to be pleased. You want your response to be you want to use the wisdom of God, apply the wisdom of God. You want to exemplify what the fruit of the Spirit is. You want to be influential and impactful. And to do that in a positive way, you have to operate in the way that God will have you to. It is not the easiest. Like I tell you, it is easy to fly off the handle. It is easy to say what you want to say. But when you have to just back and say, wisdom permits that I do so and so, then it not, the results will be the results that you want to have. At the end of the day, you want growth, you want development. But it is not necessarily what you would want. You wouldn't get it the way you wanted to. So, like I said, I could already just do wisdom part 2 and just read James 3 from verses 13 to 18, because it clearly states how we are to define and know and recognize. We're doing with the youths, we're doing attributes and characteristics, the essence of a thing, that defining trait, those characteristics, those features that says to you, this is the wisdom of God, this is not the wisdom of God, this is the fruit of the Spirit, these are the fruit of righteousness. They are defining traits, they are features, characteristics, things that prove qualities that show up, that says that this is what this is. And you want, when you look at your life, when you operate, when you function, when you respond, when you say, when you do, that people could say, God could say, you could tell yourself, this is a characteristic, this is a trait. I am seeing evidence of the essence of the Spirit of God. I am seeing evidence of the attributes and the characteristics of Christ evident in this person's life. This is a Christian because of their lifestyle. This is a Christian because of her behavior, because of how she handles situation, because of how she acts. And so I just want to really encourage us to monitor. I'm employing us to monitor how we live our lives, how we operate, how we speak, the things that we say, and how to quickly harness yourself when you realize, the devil will come. He will come. But I need, when he comes, and it shake you a little bit, that you're able to stop. You know, like when you're recognizing, wait, now there's an earthquake, you just stop and feel the rumbling. When you stop, when you feel the rumbling, I just need you to stop. Take a minute, and if all you say is, Father, your wisdom, please. The wisdom of God, Father, help me to function and operate in the characteristics of the fruit of the Spirit. Lord, I pray that the seeds that I sow will be seeds of righteousness and not seeds of flesh, not seeds of earthliness, carnality, not seeds that are demonic. Lord, help me to operate with the wisdom that is from above, with the fruit of the Spirit, with the fruit of righteousness, the seeds of righteousness that could only come from Jesus. Help me to function in that way, in that manner. I know I'm going on long, but it is so necessary, because the enemy comes in different ways, forms, and fashions, and you have to be able to say, I'll call it a friend of man, that is the devil. You must be able to pinpoint and say that is the devil. And as a result, I will not allow the enemy to come and rope me, and I'll not allow the devil to have access to me. Excuse me. You have to say, no devil, this far, no further. You cannot come here. You cannot come in here. You cannot come in here. You cannot operate in my space. I'm telling you, you have to, sometimes you might have to talk out loud. Resist, resist, resist. Resist the devil and he will flee. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you stay on that path, that narrow, difficult, tough road that leads to eternal life. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want to be able to see the Father's face. I mean, when we go through all of this forward, that's not what we're working towards. So I am employing us this one long. But I really want to encourage us to seek the wisdom of God, to know the difference between the wisdom of God and that which is earthly and demonic. And when you identify it, then you counteract with seeds of righteousness that is peaceable, reasonable, loving. Listen, it is not easy. It is not easy. It is not easy. Sometimes operating like that, where you have to allow the love of God to operate through you, to be a part of your in here to operate with it. It is challenging sometimes, because when that which calls for you to do so is difficult, you have to say, Father, at the end of the day, my desire is to please you, not myself, not how I feel. My desire is to please you, and as a result, this is what we're doing. This is how we're operating. We're using God's wisdom and not that which is earthly and demonic. Oh yeah? I like a feeling like I can't just wrap up. I just you all, I beg, please, I beg. Ask God, Father, this one is challenging. I need your wisdom. If that's all you say, if that's all you do, and it just be calculated and intentional, that Lord, my response is going to please you. Lord, my thoughts is going to please you. Lord, my actions is going to please you. Lord, what I do is going to please you. What I say is going to please you. Despite how I feel, you must be pleased. You must be pleased. You must be pleased. The harvest of my life must be seeds of righteousness. It must represent righteousness. It must exemplify the essence of my life. The characteristics of my life must be representations of Christ. A model, a proper model of Christ. I'm going all here. Sanitize, social distance, wear a mask. Use the wisdom of God. Have a great week. Be blessed. Share this one.